So did you hear about Jennifer Garner and the priest? Check this out.
I cannot walk away from a person's confession. You have to tell me when you're done. Are you done?
I haven't even started.
So it's a short film exclusive to YouTube called Serena. It's part of the new Wigs channel, which is creating original content using big name Hollywood talent. You can check out the complete short right here and tell them I sent you. Now on today's show I got a recipe that I know you're gonna love. This is pasta. We're gonna make some homemade pasta. And to go with it, I got a Pico de Gallo cream sauce. It's wonderful. I discovered this one while I was on a trip to New Orleans at a Mexican restaurant of all places. So we're gonna have that, and to go with it, I got some easy pan-seared scallops. These are Canadian scallops from Nova Scotia. They're diver harvested, and they're spectacular. You're gonna love this recipe. It's very easy to do, and I'm gonna show you how to do it right now on The Aimless Cook. So let's start with our pasta sauce. Start with a deep skillet with some oil on medium heat. To that, add a couple cloves of minced garlic and cook it until fragrant. Next, add a quarter cup of diced shallots and continue to cook for a couple minutes. Once your shallots have had a head start, it's time to add 2 seeded and diced vine-ripened tomatoes. Continue to cook and stir until the tomatoes start to break down. Now when your tomatoes are breaking down and starting to look like sauce, we're going to add 1 diced red chili, the juice of 1 lime, and a handful of chopped cilantro. Now you can season with salt and pepper and call this your sauce, or continue by adding 1 cup of heavy cream. Once the cream is in, turn up the heat to a steady simmer and reduce by 50%, stirring frequently. When the sauce is reduced by 50%, add the remaining diced tomato for color and texture. Now grab a large mixing bowl and put in your freshly cooked pasta. Here's a tip: never strain or rinse your pasta. In this case, we're using fettuccine noodles. You also want to save a little bit of the pasta water, as the starch in that water will help the sauce adhere to the noodles. Add the finished sauce to the noodles and toss lightly until combined. Finish by adding more fresh cilantro leaves and freshly ground black pepper. Now for the scallops, it's very easy to do, but also very easy to screw up. So a couple of tips here as we go. First of all, use the freshest scallops you can get your hands on that are dry packed. Sometimes scallops are shipped in water with a sodium tripolyphosphate, which is added to make them appear whiter and plumper. Now when you sear scallops like this, what happens is the moisture leaches out and you get steamed, rubbery scallops. Not something that you want to pay good money for, so it's important that you have 1 ingredient: scallops. So with a hot skillet with a couple tablespoons of oil, we're going to add the scallops in small batches. If you add too many at once, you're going to lower the temperature of the pan and steam the scallops. Now the moment you place them on the hot surface, you're going to hear the sizzle and they're going to stick. That's okay. Avoid the temptation to move them around and leave them be. From here, the cooking time will be very fast. You want to look at the meat as it cooks. Now just like prawns, they're going to begin to turn opaque and the bottom is going to start to form a brown crust. Now when that happens, the scallop will be easier to lift off the pan. So in other words, the scallop is going to tell you when it's ready to be flipped. Gently lift the scallop from the pan and turn them over. Once they're on the other side, we're going to add a dollop of butter to the pan and then use a spoon to baste them until they're done. Now this should only take about a minute or 2. When they're done, take them out of the pan and set aside. Now with the scallops, I'm just going to place them on top of my pasta, and then I'm going to garnish with some fresh cilantro leaves, and that is it. We're ready to enjoy this. So that is my recipe for a Pico de Gallo pasta with pan-seared scallops. Now I hope you take this recipe, make it yours, and have fun in the kitchen, which brings me to my question of the day. Have you ever discovered a really incredible recipe while traveling or abroad? Let me know. Tell me about it in the comments down below, and you have a great week. Take care. For more information on this incredible seafood, visit www.doorbellfoods.com. Ingredients for today's episode provided by Kingsland Farmers Market.